Mental health issues also continue to rise among youth.
Wednesday was a youth-centered day. At Ingraham High School in North Seattle, the announcement of a new initiative to prioritize youth mental health. And in the Central District, an evening town hall bringing together city and community leaders to address youth issues and concerns. The new mental health project was launched at Ingraham High School, site of a gun shooting last November when a student shot and killed Ebenezer Hale. The Reach Out Seattle initiative will focus on teaching adults in the community methods to identify mental health issues in young people and non-clinical intervention as a way to reduce gun violence. Depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts have all gone up over the past few years in the aftermath of the pandemic.
The rates of youth experiencing mental health challenges clearly have increased since the pandemic, and it's heavily affected those who are very vulnerable, people who had pre-existing mental health concerns. The goal is to ultimately decrease the need for high-intensity inpatient hospitalizations by empowering parents, caregivers, and trusted adults to be first responders in the community.
Walker Harding said more and more youth are going to the hospital's emergency room and stay there for days and sometimes weeks.
There's nowhere to send them to, and it's heart-wrenching to see this happen to our youth and see them in need of such help.
Seattle Student Union Executive Director Chetan Soni described how the rise in gun violence has affected him and his peers.
In middle school, I was in two lockdowns within the same year, two moments where we knew that whoever it was, they were coming. That feeling stays with you and it never goes away. Every single hour and every single day. That is how often students, staff, and teachers think about gun violence at school.
The frequent lockdown drills create anxiety in young people, he said.
Since elementary school, we've had to practice active lockdowns, hiding in a corner, pulling down the blinds, and staying completely silent because we knew one day our lives would depend on it.
How can you learn when you are facing trauma, pain, stress, anxieties? How can you be all you can be, your authentic self, when you have to look over your shoulder and constantly worry about gunfire, violence, bullying?
Walker Harding said anger and agitation is often misinterpreted, but it's actually depression. Talking to young people about it is a good first step.
So seeing a kid who seems angry, unable to really transition, you want to stop. You say, how are you? I see you. What's going on? And it's funny, you think, well, that's not enough. For some kids, it actually is, a lot of kids. Just to acknowledge them, find out why they seem so angry, give them an opportunity to speak.
Ninth grader Max Santiago has friends who are struggling.
I have many friends who have struggled with mental health for a very long time. Some who have a lot of family issues, others who are struggling with family and themselves, and some that just don't want to get help or feel like they can't get help because they don't want to ask for it.
At the Teen Town Hall at Langston Hughes Arts Center in the Central District, discussions about gun violence, racism, bullying, and more.
But the fact that we have such access to firearms, the fact that a 14-year-old can get a gun quicker than he can get a quality education is sad.
Talk to young African-American men about walking in a store and you become a suspect by virtue of the pigmentation in your skin. No one promised this world was going to be fair. It should be. We will fight against racism. We'll fight against prejudice. But in the meantime, we'll also fight for mentorship.
Dwayne Chappelle of the Department of Education and Early Learning talked about the difference between being a third-grade teacher years ago when children were well-behaved.
Now fast forward that 10 years to serving as a high school principal and then listening to young people, I guess you would call it body shaming on Snapchat, someone, and cyberbullying someone.
Zakaria Mukhtar was one of the panelists at the town hall. He said he liked what he heard, but he wants to see how it all develops.
I feel like they have a lot of ideas that they want to implement, and I don't think we're going to be able to see any of those ideas get implemented anytime soon. So this is going to be a waiting game until we see what they do.
I feel like I heard that they really care and they're really trying to make an impact. It's not just them speaking about it.
But even with the multiple issues that youth have to deal with today, Teens who attended the town hall are looking forward to their futures.
I want to go to UNC, but I don't, whatever happens, happens. I want to go anywhere, to be honest.
I really want to be able to affect people's lives. I might just go to college, take a little degree, go on with life as a little background character in the public.
Even though Sianna Wilson is a few years from graduating from high school, she's already thinking about what she wants to do.
I'm gathering up information on different colleges of which one would probably be the best for me, so I haven't really made my final decision yet.